There are days when it feels like the world is closing in. The pressure, the urgency, the noise. You wake up and your mind is already racing. The tasks, the worries, the notifications. It's like trying to swim against a tidal wave of uncertainty. Sometimes you wonder if anyone else can hear that constant silent scream inside your head, or if you're the only one who feels lost in this fast-moving storm. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You are not alone. And more importantly, your experience isn't unique. Marcus Aurelius fought these invisible battles. Nietzsche called it the struggle beneath the surface, where our minds become both our refuge and our battleground. The chaos outside is only half the story. What matters is how you navigate the storm within. Stoic philosophers lived through war, exile, betrayal, even death sentences. Yet their greatest triumph wasn't in their victories or defeats. It was in their ability to find calm, to still the waters of their mind, no matter how wild the world became. But let's bring it closer. What does Stoic calm really mean for you right now, in the era of social media, endless demands, and 24/7 news? It means reclaiming your inner home. The first step, awareness. Like Machiavelli, who wrote, "From exile and loss, you must see your own mind for what it is. A machine that often runs on autopilot, fed by fear, comparison, and anxiety." You can't control the world, but you can control the lens through which you see it. Here's the twist. Tranquility doesn't mean escape. It means presence. It's not found by running away, but by standing firm and choosing what thoughts you allow into your circle. Try this right now. Pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, what can I control? What cannot? This ancient question is the backbone of Stoic serenity. By separating what's yours from what isn't, you reclaim the space to choose your response, not just react. Plato said, "An unexamined life is not worth living." Today, it's not enough to live. You must examine, choose, and protect the silence within. Here's a powerful practice. Negative visualization. Imagine just for a moment the things you fear most have already happened. Instead of panic, you find a peculiar peace, because you realize you're still here, still breathing, still capable of choosing what comes next. Nietzsche called this Amor Fati, the love of fate. Accept what is and turn your energy to what you can shape. Calm isn't an accident. It's a discipline, built choice by choice, breath by breath. You become the guardian of your thoughts, learning to let go of what you cannot change, grateful for what remains. This isn't ancient dogma. It's practical, radical self-mastery in a world desperate to distract you. This week, test yourself. Create a 5-minute window each morning. Reflect, breathe, visualize what matters. Stoic wisdom isn't just theory, it's daily practice. As Bonhoeffer showed, even under threat, inner freedom is our final refuge. The world may never calm down, but you can. You can build a sanctuary within the chaos. And maybe, just maybe, you'll spark the quiet revolution the world desperately needs. One calm mind at a time. Look for the silence beneath the noise. Choose calm not just for yourself, but for everyone you touch. That's the Stoic way. That's the modern way. That's your way. But you might be wondering, can ancient wisdom really survive in the relentlessly modern world? Can a philosophy born from the dirt roads of Rome, whispered among marble pillars while empires burned, possibly help us navigate the digital hurricane and endless scroll? The truth, the gap between past and present, isn't as wide as it seems. Back then, there were literal lions at the gates. Now, the lions are inside our pockets, nipping at us with every buzz and beep. You might feel, right now, like you're drowning in noise. You might look at your life and see only chaos. But the Stoics face storms too, not of emails or calendar invites, but of war, plague, betrayal from friends. Seneca, exiled by emperors and nearly killed for speaking the truth, wrote that we always suffer more in imagination than in reality. What's attacking your peace? The crisis at work, the judgment from others, the endless what-ifs are just echoes, shadows thrown on the wall of your mind. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Most of our anxieties are rehearsals for disasters that never arrive. How many hours do we spend worrying about insults that are never spoken, rejections that never come, failures that never manifest? If we measured our pain, we'd see that the mind is a much harsher critic than the world ever is. That's why the Stoics insisted again and again on this idea. Control is the only true form of freedom. Close your eyes. Imagine, just for a moment, standing alone in the center of a hurricane. All around you, wind and debris rage. But where you stand, at the eye of the storm, there's stillness. That's what calm really means. Not the absence of chaos, but the refusal to let the chaos inside you. So how do we get there? How do you build that calm, not as an ideal, but as an everyday reality? The first practice is radical acceptance. As Epictetus taught, it's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them. You'll never have the power to bend the universe to your will, but you always have the power to interpret the universe as you will. When you lose your job, you cannot always get it back. When a friend betrays you, you cannot erase the past. But your story, the way you narrate what happened, the meaning you give it, belongs to you, no one else. This is not about pretending or toxic positivity. Stoic calm is acceptance with eyes wide open. Here's a practical exercise. When facing a stressful moment, ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, act step by step with courage. If no, release with humility. Even Marcus Aurelius, ruler of the known world, wrote in his journal every night, reminding himself that most things were not his to command. Practice this over and over. In the middle of a tense conversation, at the edge of a sleepless night as your mind spins, control what you can, accept what you can't. The second practice, voluntary discomfort. In our era, comfort is king. We chase soft beds, instant delivery, fast rewards. The Stoics, though, practice premeditatio malorum, imagining loss, sometimes even living as if they had lost what they cherished most. Not to be pessimistic, but to inoculate themselves against fear. Try this. Spend a day without something you rely on. Maybe your phone, maybe meat, maybe sugar, maybe hot water. When you feel that tug of discomfort, look closer. Beneath the craving is not suffering, but resilience. The paradox. Each time you choose discomfort, you train your mind to be less thrown by surprise. You gain confidence that you can survive more than you think. Third, practice gratitude, not as a hashtag, but as a force that reorients your mind. Each night, the Stoics made lists of what went well, what they'd learned, moments of quiet joy, no matter how small. Science now proves what philosophers intuited. Gratitude changes your brain. It's not denial of problems, but a lens that helps you see what remains when so much is lost. Try writing down just 3 things you appreciated today. A moment of silence, a smile from a stranger, finishing something difficult. Over time, these pebbles of gratitude become a fortress against the storms. Let's go deeper. Many people think calm means shutting off. But the true Stoic isn't numb. Instead, they feel everything, but let nothing own them. Imagine a great actor on the stage, not denying the emotions in the script, but fully owning their response and letting the curtain drop when the act ends. The Stoic is the master not because they avoid pain, but because they recover, they adapt, they endure. And yet, Our world sells anxiety and outrage as if it's oxygen. Social media profits from your worry, your anger, your fractured attention. The world isn't designed for your calm. In fact, being calm in the modern era is a kind of rebellion. So if you find yourself scrolling, comparing, feeling that shadow over your heart, pause. Let that be your cue. Step back. Examine. Ask, whose urgency is this? Whose story am I repeating? Remember, in every moment, the choice to be calm is yours, and yours alone. But what about when life truly falls apart? When tragedy or loss or deep pain shakes you to your bones? Here's the final lesson from the ancient sages. Calm doesn't always look like stillness. Sometimes it's found in small acts of courage. Getting up, reaching out, being kind even when it costs you. Bonhoeffer, resisting tyranny, knew he might die in a cell. Still, he wrote of inner freedom, choosing how he met each day, what he thought, what he loved. Calm, for him, wasn't cheap serenity. It was the fierce, burning core that remained when everything else was stripped away. Imagine yourself standing in the ruins of your plans, your heart racing, your breath short. In that moment, ground yourself. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Remember, you have survived all your worst days so far. Your calm is not the absence of fear, but the refusal to give up the present moment to fear's illusions. Let's return one last time to the candle in the dark. Its glow is small, easily snuffed, but real. That's your mind, your serenity, yours to guard. You do not need to wait for the world to bring you peace. You build it one moment, one breath, one choice at a time. In the end, you are not the storm. You are the calm at the center of your life. And in choosing calm, you don't just free yourself, you become a light for others, proof that serenity is possible. Maybe that is the greatest legacy Stoicism offers. A way, even now, to live undisturbed in a world rushing everywhere and nowhere. Every day, start again. Just breathe. Just notice. Just choose. Calm is not a gift. It's a practice. And it's yours, now and always. If you found value in this video, please tap the like button. It truly helps more people discover these ideas. And if you want more wisdom for finding calm and strength in a chaotic world, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next reflection. Your support fuels this community of modern Stoics. Thank you for watching.